Hello all, and welcome to my final presentation for my honors thesis. I'm Jaidyn Charlton, and I examine childhood adversity and mindset as predictors of help seeking among students. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Dr. Ashlyn Mushquash for being my supervisor, Angela McIsaac for co-supervising and aiding with some statistical questions and methods I might have had, and Dr. Beth Visser for being my second reader. The research was conducted through Lakehead University and Dr. Mushquash's coping lab in particular. The current study focused on 3 variables, and that was mindset, help seeking, and ACEs. For a brief background, help seeking is when you seek help from someone for a problem that you may not be able to deal with or manage on your own, and is influenced by a multitude of factors such as age or gender accessibility. Mindset is defined as optimistic versus a pessimistic mindset, or the glass half full or glass half empty, or just positivity versus negativity in general. Depending on one's mindset, that can determine the behaviors or attitudes towards certain actions one may take, such as help seeking. In other words, better attitudes towards help seeking can prompt one to seek help in the future, and more negative attitudes towards help seeking can deter one from seeking help. And like help seeking, mindset can be influenced by many factors, but the current study examined the influences of ACEs in particular. These are adverse childhood experiences, and those are defined as traumatic events during childhood that fall under the domains of abuse, neglect, or household dysfunction. Research has shown that ACEs and mindset can influence help seeking separately, but there are some explanatory gaps looking at the factors that can influence these associations, or explain them, if you will. Therefore, I combine these 3 variables together and hypothesize that mindset could very well be a moderator in the relationship between ACEs and help-seeking intentions and the relationship between ACEs and help-seeking attitudes. Theoretically, if ACEs impacted one's mindset would then in turn impact one's intentions to seek help or their attitudes towards help-seeking. All of this is to expand upon the help-seeking literature by exploring the influences of ACEs and mindset and their interaction on help-seeking intentions and attitudes, and that was the objective. Under method, I recruited 160 undergraduate students from Lakehead University, and they all completed a self-report questionnaire. Statistical analyses were done in SPSS, and bivariate correlations examined the direct relationships between these variables, and Hayes Process Macro did the heavy lifting for the moderation models. As can be seen under the results section, the 2 big blue diagrams looked at ACEs, mindset, and their interaction as predictors of help-seeking intentions and as predictors of help-seeking attitudes. Technically, these are also the statistical models of moderation in general, looking at the influence of each predictor individually and then combining them together to see if mindset impacts the strength of ACEs and help-seeking intentions and ACEs and help-seeking attitudes. R squared is our effect size of the overall models, and as we can see, these are very, very, very small effect sizes. Red arrows represent the relationships that were not significant, and as we can see by their p-values included, that they were very clearly not significant at all. Only mindset with its green arrow was found to be a significant predictor of help-seeking intentions, with a positive directionality suggesting that increased mindset score, aka more optimism, increased the likelihood of intending to seek help. Down below in the orange, we have the bivariate correlations. In particular, there was a relationship between mindset and ACEs and mindset and intentions, and a relationship between intentions and attitudes. However, there is interestingly no relationship between ACEs and help-seeking intentions or attitudes, whereas the literature would suggest that there would be. Moving over to the green chart, we have notable help-seeking sources individuals intend to seek help from, and the notable problems they intend to seek help for. These were not originally proposed, so they were more supplemental post-hoc analyses that also intended to explore some additional gaps that were found in the literature. And these looked at additional moderation models that kept ACEs as the predictor variable, kept mindset as the moderator. However, I replaced the outcome variable with differing help-seeking sources that one could turn to seek help, or different problems that they could seek help for. And such sources included things like seeking help from a partner, a friend, a mental health professional, a doctor, and so forth, and different problems that one could seek help for, like financial difficulties, romantic relationship difficulties, academic difficulties, and various handful of other things that university students could deem problems. Once again, across the board, there was no moderation found in all of these different models, suggesting that ACEs and mindset do not interact to influence the likelihood of seeking help from these sources or seeking help for these problems that I examined. Notably, however, and can be seen in the chart, seeking help from a parent was significantly predicted by mindset. So better the mindset, the more likely you would be to seek help from a parent. Moreover, the 4 problem scenarios seen in the chart, mental health problems, emotional and personal problems, romantic relationship problems, and general health problems, were all also significantly impacted by mindset by itself. Once again, better the mindset, the more likely you will be to seek help for these various problems should you face them. And all of this significance has been supported in the literature. The summary across the top has been color-coded to match the diagrams and the tables. Overall, my main primary hypotheses were not supported. Mindset did not moderate the relationships between childhood adversity and intentions and attitudes. Unexpectedly, adverse childhood experiences were not related to help-seeking intentions or attitudes at all, which could have also been some foreshadowing for the not significant moderation, but that's another story, let's be honest. And finally, mindset did have a slight influence on help-seeking intentions, seeking help from a parent, and seeking help for mental health problems, emotional problems, romantic problems, or general health problems. Limitations do include the fact that the study was a small cross-sectional university sample that was mainly white and female. This can impede generalizability and the number of ACEs reported. In fact, most participants reported 1 to 2 ACEs or just no ACEs at all. Moreover, it was a self-report questionnaire, which is good because individuals presumably know themselves best, so they can answer for themselves. However, it's also risky for more like response biases, like socially desirable responding, etc. Future directions would be to have a larger, more diverse sample, to include minorities, more males, to go outside the university to increase that generalizability and the number of ACEs that ones could experience. And you could also try different methodology or analyses, such as a longitudinal method or experimental method if possible. Moreover, I relied heavily on moderation, whereas, say, a different statistical process such as mediation could yield either similar or even different results. So it would be interesting to look into that as well. Future directions could also look at more specificity among the variables, such as narrow in on specific types of ACEs, like, say, parental domestic abuse, rather than lumping them all together. That could provide a more nuanced results to help explain these in more detail and paint a better picture. You could also look at other problems or sources for help seeking to cover things that I may have missed. We could look at other explanatory factors besides mindset that could influence these associations among all the variables, never mind in the moderations that I had. We could also look at the lack of the association between ACEs and help seeking, because the literature did imply that there would be some relationship there. So that just opens up a new can of worms, a new direction to go down, like, why did this not happen here? Could it happen again? Will we find different results in the future? So on. It's really endless. General implications can include informing healthcare workers who may be at risk for avoiding help when they seriously need it. Moreover, it can help better prepare for guiding appropriate help for individuals and identifying those who do need that help, and form help-seeking programs that can educate people on when to seek help, how to seek help, and that seeking help is okay at the end of the day, and it is most certainly not a sign of weakness. Because I know that literature suggests that those with more pessimistic mindsets or those with more ACEs may believe that it's not worth it. that they have to do it alone, whereas that is not true. And by knowing all of this, we can help change that mindset to help them get the help that they need. So on that note, thank you for viewing and listening to my poster, and cheers.